The battle is going to be very close indeed for the drivers on the grid here, as they have all been working throughout the qualifying heats after time qualifying on Friday. All of the qualifying heats yesterday were very close indeed. The super heats this morning gave us plenty of drama and intrigue. Now we get ourselves ready for the main event. This is the big show, and the OK Junior Final will now greet us with an amazing grandstand finish to the Champions of the Future Winter Series Final in OK Junior. Your pole position sitter, Anatoly Kavalkin, dominant throughout the weekend. The only race he's dropped was the Superheat, but he still finished second. And from the front of the grid, he's going to be very hard to beat for the Paralin Motorsport team. So with Anatoly Kavalkin on the pole position, alongside him on the starting grid, as he goes off P2, will be the very talented man from Ukraine, Alexander Bondarev, for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. He's been lightning all the way through the weekend, and he took a brilliant victory in the second superheat over the course of the day. Expect him to challenge for the win right from the get-go. He has been rapid throughout the weekend. On the second row of the starting grid, we have great talent too, as the Biralat Racing youngster, Kirill Kutskov, comes out of third position on the grid, and the man in red, white and black is going to be charging his way forward to try and take this victory in the final. Fourth position on the second row of the grid alongside, it'll be the Polish driver Jan Bizarowski. A fantastic performance from him so far in the weekend. Consistent, fast and very calculated. We'll see what Jan Bizarowski can do from the second row of the grid. The third row of the grid is occupied by two drivers who have a great opportunity to move forward. The British driver Nathan Tye will start fifth position for the Sodi Kart factory team. He was fastest in his qualifying group on Friday. Anything can happen with this talented British star. He'll be joined on the third row of the grid on the other side, on the outside line. The talented Thai racer Enzo Tarnvanichkul for the Tony Kart factory team. He was the man who managed to get the victory in the pre-final to this, I suppose you could ask. That was the Superheat for the second chance race earlier on today, the Superheat 2. He's been the only man all weekend to vanquish our pole sitter, Anatoly Kavalkin. Lucas Flucia of Spain, lining up 7th on the starting grid for the Kart Republic Motorsport team. Watch out for him. His eyes are focused. He's steady and ready to go for the battle. Then on the fourth row of the grid alongside him, the talented Belgian superstar. It'll be a great challenge for Douwe de Decker, the Belgian, from 8th position on the grid. The BWT-backed Kart Republic Motorsport driver has a lot to prove in this one, and he's going to be gunning for victory right from the start. Up towards the fifth row of the starting grid, two more drivers who could make a real shout in this final. For the Energy Course team from Peru, it is Andres Cardenas, who has been very impressive all the way through the weekend. He's been bringing the Energy Course name right back to the front with prominence and style. And lining up alongside him on the fifth row of the starting grid, after a lot of adventures and a lot of great skill and ability through the weekend, the man who's going off P10 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport will be Maciek Gledij of Poland, who has been very impressive over the course of the weekend, one of the fastest through the weekend, but he hasn't always had the luck to bring him to the front end of the field. Behind him on the grid, it'll be Edward Robinson and Martin Molnar, the Spaniard and the Hungarian. And then we will have Salim Hara Hernandez of Colombia, along with the Frenchman Thomas Kinsey. René Lammers of the Netherlands will be alongside Alp Aksoy of Turkey. And then the South African Luvuwe Sambudla will be beside the countryman Nicolas Roos, so an all-South African row of the grid. Then it will be Adam Hideg of Hungary, who lines up alongside Len Nige, the talented Belgian. For Germany, it'll be Taim Saleh, and Jimmy Helias of France will be next up in the mix. Then on the grid, it'll be Luna Flucia, the talented Spanish driver, and she will be alongside Newman Chi of China. Then Arthur Dorisson of France will be alongside Alex O'Grady from the Republic of Ireland. And then we will have Andy Consani alongside Miguel Costa. Maxime Verbruge of France will hopefully be alongside Alfie Slater on the starting grid. The British driver was unable to make it out for the third race of the, for the earlier superheat. Hopefully he'll be able to make it out for this final. Sebastian Garzon of Colombia will be alongside the Belgian Thomas Strauven. And then from Switzerland, it'll be Enea Frey and Zach Drummond, who are together on the grid, the Swiss and the Brit. And then on the back row, it'll be the Frenchman Jules Caranta alongside the Dutchman Renaud Franciacorta. So the fans are in position as they await the start. It's still very cold indeed here, 11 degrees Celsius air temperature here at Franciacorta, one of the coldest events on record in RGMMC's February calendar. But it's certainly going to provide us with an interesting trio of races as the competitors will get underway at 10 minutes past 2 local time, just a half an hour delay in the schedule. But what a fantastic race weekend we have had here at Franciacorta as the drivers are set for an exciting battle over the course of these 19 laps that will determine which of the OK Junior drivers will become the winner of the Champions of the Future Winter Series 2022. So the 3-minute board goes up over the start-finish line, and all that shall remain on the grid will be the driver and the mechanic. The mechanic, of course, needing to push the drivers off the starting line. On the left of your screen for the Paralin Motorsport team, Anatoly Kivalkin in pole position. Alongside him on the grid, Alexander Bondarev from Ukraine will be there for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. And what a battle this is going to be between the two drivers. Anatoly and Alexander, they have a massive amount of respect for each other, these two. A great pair of racers and good friends. So now they will battle away together as they race for the top spot. Paralin versus Lando Norris. The Paralin Motorsport Works team versus the Ricky Flynn Motorsport squad with so much history and wealth of talent behind it. And this year's OK Junior lineup at RFM is absolutely extraordinary. Third on the grid, Kirill Kutskov for the Birilat team. Watch out for him as he goes off the third place spot. Fourth on the grid for the talented Jan Pizarowski. He will be there for the Polish contingent in fourth on the grid for the Tony Kart Factory team. Nathan Tai in the Sony Kart will be there in fifth position on the grid to make it 5 different chassis in the top 5 places of the grid. Absolutely fantastic to see how even and how close it is. Sixth on the grid, Enzo Tanvanichkul from Thailand. He will definitely be trying to repeat his amazing drive in the superheat earlier this morning when he became the only driver all weekend to have beaten Anatoly Kivalkin in a straight fight. Seventh position, Lucas Flusha of Spain will be right up there trying to charge forward for Kart Republic. His teammate, the Belgian Douwe de Decker, will be there on the fourth row of the grid beside him. And then it will be Andres Cadenas in the energy course alongside Maciej Gledej of Poland, who has got so much speed under his right foot. 19 laps of the course await us as we get ourselves ready for battle here at Franciacorta. The 1-minute board goes up. And then the drivers will be ready for the most exciting race of the weekend. This is the battle. This is the race that will crown us a Champions of the Future Winter Series winner 2022. It's now or never for the drivers. They know just how tough it's going to be. They will have dialed everything in and dialed everything up, ready to go. It's all on these boys and girls out there, and they will want to give it absolutely everything in the final race of the weekend. So the competitors are ready to launch away in the Champions of the Future Winter Series final. In the next few seconds, they will be on their out lap and formation lap as they will come to the grid for the first of 19 laps that will decide who will be our first Champions of the Future winner 2022 in the Winter Series in the OK Junior category. It may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Here we go for the OK Junior Final 2022 here from Franciacorta. So as the karts leave the grid to get ourselves ready for the OK Junior Final, here is the grid. Anatoly Kivalkin and Alexander Bondarev from Kirill Kutskov and Jan Pizarowski. Nathan Tai and Enzo Tanvanichkul from Lucas Flusha, Douwe de Decker, Andres Cadenas and Maciej Gledej. Edward Robinson and Martin Molnar from Salem Hana and Thomas Kinsey, René Lammers and Alpak Soy, Liverway Sam Budler and Nicolas Roos from Adam Hideg, Len Nyes, Tim Saleh, Jimmy Helias, Luna Flusha, Newman Chi, Arthur Dorisson, Alex O'Grady, Andy Consani, Miguel Costa, Maxime Verbruge, Alfie Slater, Sebastian Garzon, Thomas Strauven, Enea Frey, Zach Drummond, Jules Caranta and Renaud Franco. And I can inform you that all 35 boys and the one female driver, Luna Flusha, are on the starting grid. So they have all made it out for the last race of the weekend. And it's definitely going to be the most intense, the most exhilarating, the most exciting battle of the OK Junior weekend here at Franciacorta. They are still learning the circuit. Many of the drivers will be here for the very first time. And many of them are racing in OK Junior at this level under these regulations for the first time as well. What a warm-up to the 2022 international karting season, and the first real indication as to who's going to be the real stars of the show in 2022. Wherever you're watching from and however you're watching, you are very welcome indeed on motorsport.tv, on the RGMMC YouTube page, or on the Champions of the Future Facebook page as well. Jake Sanson here with you, and you are in for 19 laps of exhilarating action from the OK Juniors in the Champions of the Future Winter Series finale of 2022. Anatoly Kavalkin in pole position on the left. On the right, Alexander Bondarev of Ricky Flynn Motorsport. This will be an amazing fight, and it could be one of the most exciting OK Junior races of the 2022 season. Kutskov in third from Pisarovsky, then Tai, Tomvanichko, Flusha, Dedeka, Cardenas and Gladish. Ready? We're racing! Up to the first corner, cracking start from the inside line as usual. Tai goes up on the curb a little bit as the field wobbles through the first couple of corners, but it's a good start from Kutskov and Tai as they run second and third. There's a pile up further back as we've got several karts in trouble at turn 2, but the rest of the field goes through. That, I'm afraid, is game over for Garzon as well as it is for the 32. And that is already problems there for Garzon, Slater and Jules Caranta. And I think Thomas Strauven has been caught up in it all as well. So 4 karts are off the road at the first turn of the race course. It looks to me as though one of them has continued, and that appears to be Thomas Strauven. So Strauven has recovered at the back of the field. Everyone else there has been caught up and appears to be out of the race. So, as they go into lap 2, it is Kavalkin in front of Kutskov, Tai, Flusha, Cardenas, Tomvanichko, Bondarev, Pisarovsky, Dedeka and Gladish in the top 10. And well done to the marshals. They cleared that wreckage pretty quickly, and the race continues without the need for yellow flags. So, it's a good battle for third position already as Cardenas goes side by side with Nathan Tai. Lucas Flusha into third. Tai hangs on for fourth in front of the Peruvian. Andres Cardenas continues in P5 as they work their way through the second sector. And Cardenas is all over the back of Nathan Tai. The British driver makes sure that the Peruvian doesn't get through in the apex at turn 11. And as they go through 13, up the back straight and up towards the hairpin, it looks like Alfie Slater has been given the warning flag, but he is already out of the race as there's a big battle into the hairpin. Tai gets passed by Andres Cardenas, and it looked like further back we saw Maciej Gladish and Salim Hanar battling away with Jan Pisarovsky. Gladish is up to 8th, Pisarovsky is 9th from Dedeka, Robinson, Salim Hanar down to 12th, and then René Lammers in front of Martin Molnar and Ludovic Sambudla. So Anatoly Kavalkin leads the race, but he's being chased down by his countryman. Kirill Kutskov is giving him plenty to think about in the early stages of this race, but Kutskov will know that he can't afford to let Kavalkin go too far ahead. Kavalkin is going to be dominant if Kutskov doesn't get under his skin nice and early. So Kirill Kutskov is still doing his best to try and double standard where Kavalkin's going to put the kart. Up to the hairpin, no major moves. Tomvanichko going a little defensive as he has now got past Nathan Tai. So Enzo Tomvanichko, the young man from Thailand, is up to 5th position, and through to 6th, I do believe has come Alexander Bondarev. Indeed he has. So P6 now for Bondarev. The man on a mission in P6. Still with plenty of work to do and plenty of racing ahead of him. It's going to be very interesting how this race plays out as Bondarev gets through in a 5th position. He makes the move on Enzo Tomvanichko. Andres Cardenas is now the fastest man on track. We've had an off there. It's one of the Mercedes juniors. That's got to be Luna Flusha. So Luna Flusha, unfortunately, has run wide and lost a few positions. Meanwhile, Lucas Flusha, her older brother, is doing a great job. So Lucas Flusha in 3rd position in front of Andres Cardenas. Cardenas goes for the move on Flusha into the hairpin, and that'll do nicely for him. So the Peruvian is now into 3rd place ahead of Lucas Flusha in the Kart Republic. They come down the home straight. Nathan Tai is 5th, Bondarev is 6th, and now is there going to be defensive moves from Cardenas? There is. Flusha is not going to be able to get back through. So still the racing continues. It's going to be very tight at the front end of the field. Kutskov is still all over the back of Kavalkin. And Cardenas and Flusha are still dueling for third place. Here are the leaders. Kirill Kutskov trying desperately to get one over on Anatoly Kivalkin. He wants to hustle him for the entirety of the race. And Len Nyes, I'm afraid, has picked up a warning flag. That will come with a 5-second penalty that goes with it, as Tame Saleh, I believe, may have gone off the road, and I think he is out of the race. Or certainly has fallen down the order, if not out of the race. Indeed, it is the latter. So he has fallen out of the order and has recovered. So here comes Kirill Kutskov. Into lap 6 we go. And is he going to make his bid on Anatoly Kivalkin? He just wants to hustle him and follow in pursuit. A brilliant pair of drivers here. Anatoly Kivalkin for the Paralin Motorsport team and Kirill Kutskov of the Biralat factory squad. Maciek Ledij, the pole, has gone fastest of all so far. 48.79 for him as he works his way up to 7th position. So it's a tough battle between these two, Kivalkin and Kutskov. But when is the Biralat driver going to make his bid? As off the road goes two of cars have gone off there. So that is the 51, I'm afraid. So that's game over for Edward Robinson, and Salim Hanna Hernandez has gone off with him. So the two drivers pushing very close together, but I'm afraid it's game over for both of them. And they come off at turn 5. Andres Cardenas has dropped Lucas Flusha and is now trying to close up on these two. It could be a 3-car battle against 3 of the biggest brand names in karting, as walking away from the scene there. That's unfortunate for Edu Robinson. He's out, having come together there with his rival in this race, Salim Hanna. So Kivalkin, Kutskov and Cardenas, the Peruvian, is closing in. This could be a massive coup for Andres Cardenas. If he manages to overhaul these two, it would certainly be the first time we had ever heard the Peruvian national anthem on the top step of an RGMMC podium. So that could be very exciting indeed. Now, it looks to me as though Salim Hanna is going to get the warning flag. He's out of the race already, so it doesn't really make a difference. But he is judged to be the one who instigated that incident between himself and Edu Robinson. And there's another incident. So that's a retirement there for the 34 car. That's Douwe de Decker. Douwe de Decker is out of the race. Now, he started in the top 10. Not entirely sure why or where, but Douwe de Decker is out of this race. A real shame for the Belgian. So they are dropping like flies. We now have just 30 karts still running. De Decker, Hanna, Robinson, Slater, Garzon and Caranta are all out of this race so far. And still the battles rage between the 3 men up front. Kivalkin, Kutskov and Cardenas. They have pulled 2 seconds clear of the rest of the field. But this is going to be all about the top 3. Flusha is 4th, Bondarev is 5th and Ledij is 6th. So up into lap 9 they go. The big question is when? When is Kutskov going to make his bid on Kivalkin? When is Kivalkin going to start playing defensive? When are these two going to give Andres Cardenas a chance to get through? Lap 9 of 19. Take your time, lads. Still plenty of racing to come. You don't want to go ugly early. In through 9 and 10. Back on the power. Trying their best to shake off Cardenas, who really is eating into the gap now. Chasing after these two lads like a stormtrooper after a Jedi. And now he is right there in the mix, trying to get his move. So they pull clear. Alexander Bondarev, by the way, is closing in on Lucas Flusha to try and go for 4th place. So if anything kicks off here, this could be very interesting. There is Bondarev chasing down Flusha. The Spanish talent still running well. Kutskov in the lead. Kutskov's got through into turn 2 past Kivalkin. So Kirill Kutskov has got through into the lead of the race, but he's going to have pressure on the way through. Yellow flags because we've had another retirement. It's one of the Paralins, I think. It's René Lammers. So René Lammers has gone out of the race as Alexander Bondarev sets the fastest lap of the race, but Kutskov is ahead of Anatoly Kivalkin. So now is this going to be a different Russian on the top spot? Alexander Bondarev is battling away with Lucas Flusha behind these 3. And Maciek Ledij is closing in as well. 7th is Tai, 8th is Pisarovsky, 9th is Hideg, and 10th is Enzo Tarvanichkul. And they come onto the home straight again. Kivalkin has been unbeaten all weekend long other than the superheat this morning. But is this going to be the moment he bounces back? Kutskov tries to hold him at the line, but Kivalkin gets through. Lovely overtake from the Paralin. And now Cardenas will be wanting to go for his own move on the 2 men up front. Anatoly Kivalkin fights back to get through on Kirill Kutskov once more. Andres Cardenas in third. They are absolutely nose to tail. Kutskov is going to try again here on Anatoly Kevalkin. When is he going to make his bid? Kirill Kutskov is keeping a watching brief on everything around him. But what is Anatoly Kevalkin going to do here to defend? He holds his racing line as Bondarev has now come up to fourth. Gladij has come up to fifth. So the Ricky Flynn teammates could now work together here to close up on the leading trio. So Cardenas is just watching to see what the two Russians up front do. Anatoly Kevalkin and Kirill Kutskov are dueling away for position. Paralin versus Biralat. And the energy course is running in third. A bit of a run wide from Kevalkin, but he catches it across at the apron before he loses the place to Kutskov. Kutskov is all over the rear quarter of the Paralin. In through 9, in through 10. And still they battle away. Here comes Kutskov on the inside. Gets the lead back from Kevalkin on lap 12. 8 laps to go. Is that the right moment? Kutskov is starting to defend. He's trying to keep Kevalkin at bay while Cardenas closes right up on the pair of them. Kutskov could really do with Cardenas going for the move here on Kevalkin. Kevalkin's going to try. He squeezes and he gets through. Cardenas is trying to get off the inside of both of them. But Kevalkin gets through, retakes the lead. Kutskov is going to try and come straight back at him. Watch out for Cardenas. He's got a chance as well. They are daring each other to make the big lunge in the inside line. And as a result, Bondarev and Gladij, the two teammates at Ricky Flynn, are catching them rapidly. Kevalkin, Kutskov and Cardenas are trying to settle this race between them. We may need to get a Russian flag ready for the top step of the podium, but we may need a Peruvian flag because Cardenas is right there in third position behind the two men up front. And Bondarev and Gladij have swapped positions by the look of it. So Gladij is up to fourth, Bondarev to fifth, and Flusha is still sixth. In we go. 13 laps completed, 6 to go. This is going to be a rip-roarer. Through turn 1. Kevalkin holds the line through 2 and 3, and there's another retirement. It's one of the Forzas out of the race. That is Alex O'Grady. The Irishman has gone, I'm afraid. So Alex O'Grady retires from the race. But Kevalkin is in the lead from Kutskov and Cardenas. The gap has come down to 1.4 between them and Gladij in fourth position. Bondarev is fifth. Flusha is sixth. Anything can still happen here. The three drivers are going to battle away for position right to the last. Anatoly Kevalkin hanging on in front of Kirill Kutskov. Andres Cardenas in third. Then fourth is Maciej Gladij of Poland. Fifth is Alexander Bondarev of Ukraine. And in sixth place, it is Lukas Flusha of Spain. The Englishman Nathan Tai in 7th place from the Pole Jan Przodowski. 9th is Enzo Tanvanitschkel of Thailand. And then the Hungarian Adam Hideg is in 10th position. So still the battles rage as the competitors duel away for position. Kevalkin, Kutskov and Cardenas. Alexander Bondarev sets the fastest lap of the race. 48.736 from him. The Ricky Flynn star going beautifully at the moment in P5 behind his teammate. And they are eating up the gap to the three men up front. This is lap 15. And still Kirill Kutskov just keeps himself in position here behind Anatoly Kevalkin. Kevalkin can't get too far away. Look at how quickly the RFM boys are coming. Gladij and Bondarev are catching these three rapidly. 4 laps to go, and Ricky Flynn's duo is about to become a factor in this final. Here come Gladij and Bondarev, working in tandem, working in unison. They are eating up the road ahead of them. This is not a 3-man battle anymore, it's a 5-man battle. Kevalkin, Kutskov, Cardenas, then it's Bondarev behind Gladij. Nicolas Roos sets the fastest lap of the race, the South African for CRG. But the second these three start squabbling, this will not be a 3-card battle anymore. Cardenas on the inside of Kutskov. Kutskov is absolutely resolute. You're not going to overtake me. I'm going after Kevalkin. He goes a tiny bit defensive just to let Cardenas know we've got to go together here to go after Kevalkin. Stop trying to get me for second. Let's go after Kevalkin in first. Gladij and Bondarev are loving it. 3 to go. This could still go anybody's way. All 5 of these drivers have a shot at the victory now. And there could be an absolute heartbreaker of a lap for somebody. But we are getting closer to the business end of this final. It's been a tough one. It's been a ruthless one. But Kevalkin, Kutskov, Cardenas, Gledizh and Bondarev are going to battle for the victory here at Franciacorta. The champions of the future Winter Series final in OK Junior is going to get to fever pitch. Let's turn the dial up to 11 as Kutskov closes right up on Kavalkin. Here he goes in the hairpin, and Kutskov, he comes together with Kavalkin. Kavalkin drops to 5th. Cardenas takes the lead. Cardenas goes into the lead. And now here comes Gledizh on the inside of Kutskov, and he's through in a second, surely. Kutskov holds it round the outside. It's not going to happen. Bondarev gets through in a third. Kavalkin drops right back off the podium. A lap and a half to go, and Andres Cardenas suddenly leads on the final couple of laps. Gledizh is in second, Bondarev is third. Now they could team up and go together here. Gledizh is going for it. Now he feels he's got a chance to win this. Bondarev is there in third still, in front of Kirill Kutskov. Kavalkin is still 5th, but he's lost a lot of momentum. So here they come. Down to the braking zone, Cardenas holds the middle of the road. Gledizh and Bondarev tighten up. Kutskov is still there in 4th place. And now we've got the Ultimo Giro. 1 lap to go here at Franciacorta. In through to turn 1, Cardenas parks it on the inside. Gledizh and Bondarev are lining up. So is Kirill Kutskov in the Birolart. Bondarev's got to go defensive. So has Cardenas. Gledizh is going to get alongside. Side by side, the two men. They bang wheels. Gledizh backs down. Comes back in a second. Bondarev's off the road. Bondarev goes off. Oh, Kirill Kutskov and Bondarev seem to have tangled. And it's the man from Ukraine who's gone off the road. But what can Maciej Gledizh do now about Andres Cardenas? Can he get through? Peru versus Poland, down to the hairpin. Bondarev is upset, as you would expect. Gledizh takes the lead in the hairpin. Is Gledizh going to get it out of the final turn? Maciej Gledizh wins it all. Oh my goodness. From P10, Maciej Gledizh for Poland gets the win for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Their first win with the Lando Norris chassis in OK Junior comes to Maciej Gledizh. Oh my goodness. What a drive. What resolute determination from the young Pole. Amazing. And he's weeping at the wheel. And I can't be at all surprised. What a drive from Maciej Gledizh. The winner of last year's FIA Karting Academy Trophy has now set the seeds in place for 2022 for an OK Junior World and European title attack. He wins the Champions of the Future Winter Series at Franciacorta in sensational style. What a drive, what a performance, what a victory. Maciej Gledizh triumphant in front of Andres Cardenas and Kirill Kutskov. Anatoly Kavalkin is 4th from Lukas Flusha and Jan Pisarowski. The top 10 completed by Nathan Tai, Enzo Tarnvanichkul, Adam Hideg and Newman Chi. Liveaway Sam Budler 11th in front of Maxime Verbruge and Renaud Franco, then Nicolas Roos and Len Nige. Andy Consani is in front of Arthur Dorisson from Miguel Costa in 18th place. Behind them, after an epic squabble in the midfield, we have Tame Saleh in front of Thomas Kinsey and Alp Aksoy. Martin Molnar in front of Luna Flusha. Jimmy Helias is ahead of Anea Frey from Zach Drummond and Thomas Strauven. Alexander Bondarev, unfortunately, out of the race on the last lap, along with Alex O'Grady, René Lammers, Doué de Decker, Salim Hadar, Edu Robinson, and the 3 retirements on the opening lap, Alfie Slater, Sebastian Garzon, and Jules Caranta. What a dramatic final that was. Anyone in the top 5 in the last 2 laps could have taken the victory. But it turns out it's the man who started this battle in 5th position at one point. Maciej Gledizh times it to perfection, takes the lead in the final hairpin, holds on in the final left kink, and grabs the ultimate prize in the Champions of the Future Winter Series. We're going to wait for him as he comes around the corner. What a display. What an amazing drive from Maciej Gledizh of Poland. Just the most sensational victory. It was looking so tough at one stage for him. Over the course of yesterday, he drifted wide in one of the heats and ended up falling down the field. But what an incredible result. What a way to end it. Some very exhausted drivers after a very tough race in the final. There is Arthur Dorisson and Nathan Ty. The party has just begun for the young Pole, though, who is coming round the corner now. Maciej Gledicz, the very amiable, very charming, and very lovable young Polish star, has started his 2022 campaign in the best possible fashion. What a great result. What a great drive. And an amazing race from the OK Juniors, as we see the likes of Miguel Costa and Luvoe Sam Budler, who have both done an amazing job this weekend. They've done well through adversity. You can't win them all, but you can certainly put on a great show. And Costa and Sam Budler are two of the drivers who have definitely done so this weekend. They won't be happy with the results, but in terms of their determination and their ability, that's not even in question. Excellent stuff from the drivers here. As we watch the number 20 Ricky Flynn Motorsport kart coming in, that is Enea Frey. But what a result. What a spectacular effort it has been from Maciej Gledicz. We will head down to the podium now to celebrate with the top three drivers, Kirill Kutskov, Andres Cardenas and Maciej Gledicz. In third position for Russia, Kirill Kutskov. An excellent result for Kirill, as he will be there on the top step, on the third step of the podium. And in second position for Peru, Andres Cardenas. What a result for Andres. Great performance all the way through the weekend. But your winner of the Champions of the Future Winter Series in OK Junior for Poland, Maciej Gledicz. And we welcome the winning team manager. Please welcome Ricky Flynn. And in deference to our winning driver on the top step of the podium, the national anthem for Poland. Congratulations to our drivers, and we would like to welcome our esteemed guest, Mr. Giovanni Aldi, the mayor of Castellazzaro, to present the trophies to our drivers. Starting with, in third position for Russia, Kirill Kutskov. And to our driver in second position after a fantastic battle for the Energy Course squad for Peru, Andres Cardenas. And of course, the winning trophy to our Champions of the Future Winter Series winner in OK Junior 2022, your race winner for Poland, Maciej Gledicz. And for the last time on this particular podium for OK Junior, we will give the winning trophy to our winning team manager for Ricky Flynn Motorsports, the man himself, Ricky Flynn. We'd like to ask our drivers and team manager to hold their trophies aloft so that they can be there for the podium. So the drivers raise the trophies above your heads in a celebratory pose. There we are, ladies and gentlemen, your podium in OK Junior. A fabulous result from our three drivers. And now it is the moment of celebration that our three drivers will have been longing for all weekend. Notice how quickly Ricky Flynn departs from the podium. Andres Cardenas wants to get rid of his trophy so that it doesn't get sprayed either. A victory drink for our drivers. There might be a little bit of a spray as well. Let's get busy with a fizzy! A great result. Let's welcome back our winning driver to the podium for a quick word, Maciej Gledicz. A fabulous performance. Let's have a quick word for all of the people watching along at home. That must taste really sweet now. Maciek, a fabulous, fabulous race weekend and a great performance. Just talk us through that final.
It was really hard because I started P10 and in the start I was like 12 and after I came back to the front and yeah, in the last lap Andres wasn't defending enough, so I overtook him. Yeah, and I won.
You must be feeling really confident now for the Euro Series coming up next month. How does this look for the rest of the season now?
I will try to do the same last year. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Excellent, congratulations, well done, buddy. Maciek Lidic, everybody. A fantastic result. Our attention now turns to the next race on the bill, the OK Senior Final here at Franciacorta.